For the duration of my adolescence and young adulthood, my creativity was marked and shaped by a relentless craving to hide. Seeing my art as an extension of myself or allowing it to be seen by others only brought discomfort. Still, I painted and hung my work on walls, and I would deny that other people could see my innermost feelings in my art because I denied myself of falling into them. The falling might become a spiral, crumpled, folded by stifling and narrow reactions from the world around me. I had come to believe that spiraling was a bad thing to do. I gulped down a fear of drowning, not knowing if I could float in the tidal pools of feeling. I had learned to mistrust the shape of coarse hair, snail shells, fern tips, stirred water, and galaxies. I might call my experience at art therapy school a portal where I became aware of the power of my practice and got rocket ship blasted into a universe where circles of women from all walks of life laughed and cried and shared together and served and accepted the heart magic of being here. And spiraling with them, I learned that I'm not so separate from what is outside of me. So now, when I look at my art, something that is outside of me or seems to be, there is an invitation, a responsibility to accept what is there as what I am, the pain and the joy, and how I am moved by you. I see 5 spiral tunnels I could not travel through before that have shown me how I can reside in both the tail and the core. In the slanting bend of lifeblood's cave, they echo me, I echo them. Feeling their curve curls me to that quiet place within. 1. The sticking webs of stories that I've told about myself. 2. The swirling storm of feminine that in its fury swells. 3. The gasping search for safety that sits simply at the center. 4. The bowing role of servant I must relax to truly enter. And looking through the coiling haze of ancestors and time, 5 shows me how my body holds what I struggle to call mine. There is a time and a place for a story. They come to me usually when there is some seed of worry or glory that begs to take root and sprout up in a hurry. This is the meaning-making mind of what I thought I buried. Here is the simple ask. As every child says, unleash me. I am more than what you thought would grow up in this baby. I am more than what you think you want from the labor of your wives. I am the flame, the blood of grief. I am the raging cries of life. How can you shrink me by divining where I go? when the true motion within me you cannot control? How can you tell me I must cower here and wait for love, when my spoken name itself is the flight of freedom's dove? I am not an unborn fear waiting to breathe in. We are released from our gestation. Go live and shed this skin. My body is not broken by the ocean where it swims. I know what has been salted, and my grace is not a whim. My heart is not for yours to keep, and your love not mine to take. There is a kind and gentle path where I create my wake. Let me see the web glisten with the raw dew of a new morning. Let me feel its thread shudder with the spirit of anger. I cannot unhear the plea of this touch. There is no garment to design. There is no thing to stick to, no more. And the silk breaks, and it melts where I rest my hands. I was a viciously angry child. I broke windows with my bare feet, transformed into dragons and tigers effortlessly. Born of the fire, with beasts in my belly, I kicked and punched and screamed as if my life depended on it. What they could not express, I expressed for them. What battle they could not fight, I fought. And so viciously I moved that I was held down in my fury, restrained. It was true. There were people much stronger than me, and my anger was nothing compared to theirs. When I was 13, I bled for the first time, and I did not know what I needed, and I could not ask. It was the same morning I left to go camping with my 8th grade class, and my teacher named the trip as a rite of passage, like how the world should be. It rained hard, and I wore my rain pants all day and all night to keep the outside dry. Somewhere around this time, I learned ways to hurt my body, and there is a memory of wanting to be seen on a spotlit stage and blowing up because I could not bear to be told one more time to clean my room when the cloth-covered floor was lava and the consequence was to be confined, alone, in my room. Is there something I should not see in myself? What is so unbearable to look at? I cried to no one. I cried to anyone who found themselves locked in with me. I felt and flooded the prison until I could not breathe clearly, and when something happened that meant I should be angry, I said the words, "I'm getting angry," and felt nothing.
Will you stay if I feel nothing? Or are you still turning away from me? Will you not even look into my eyes to know their color?
Look at me. Look at
Look
me.
at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. There is nothing wrong with me. No one ever should have made me feel that there was anything wrong with me. This body can still show me that I burn your grasp and bend air with my heat. This body can become her. My form is head and legs, arms, torso, neck, and spine. Smooth, smooth, fumble to contain what is mine. I draw what is outside. I draw what is in. I make lines to show that there is a within. My fingertips press paper, shifting chalk across the page. I have aged since I first knew the sound of pebbles rolled in waves. Then, my body was a being with imagined walls and roof. Its constant changing shape simply willed me into truth. Smooth, smooth, fumble. I watch your high beams bow as we head the arrow along the curve of Black Knight Road. And I didn't know what I was saying before it tumbled out. Too quick for my tongue to catch, I emptied myself out of some long, silenced sadness and was left with what I knew was the barren ache of part of me that long ago withdrew. And thankfully, you are no stranger to the deeper shades of blue. You gave me all the space and time to brew what needed to let brew. So I followed that feeling, down to mountain's end where the tall grass reeds meet still glass waters, under full belly moon and willow tree bends, to weep myself empty and to be filled again. Smooth, smooth, fumble to touch myself awake, to meet the body of light that walked across the lake, erase my insides, to see me more defined, then color me in deeply, to flood me and remind. I taste the color purple when I dare to swim in your waters. Each time I reach out to touch and feel the firm hands of mothers and fathers. I swallow hard and bite my tongue, lips, and cheeks. I knew the color purple from before, and the smell of tobacco maybe, or the ache of unkind bruises. And I've been told that my grandfather's lost spirit dwells in the color purple. I am reminded of how you were once a child too. Are the mountains there for me in the ways they were there for you? Do I taste the water as you did? Do you see yourself in the way I walk or how I choose to start a conversation? Can I love like you? Do you live under my skin or weigh my steps to the ground? Is that your fist I feel pound on my locked door heart? I am called to go deep somewhere inside of myself and open so that you can live through me. Do you know that I grieve for you? I quiver in the cupped hands of sorrow. I touch and feel the darkness. I breathe for you. And float lightly in palms flooded with gratitude. River, guide me to humility. Let me feel the greed of purple. Let me feel its cruelty as my own. Let me fall in love with the color purple, the death that comes with each birth, and the perfection of my deepest shame. To draw on a love as strong as the undercurrents, undeniable, unrelenting, merciless in their perpetuity. Plunging me into forgiveness ceaselessly. And I start at the center, where I was once curled into myself, and where I can return to feel the cradle that always is. I do not want to leave myself anymore. I remain here to attend to what a history of leaving has left. Raw flesh, warm breasts, and some sort of iron fist shaping a cavern in my chest, wishing to be filled. I do not want to leave myself anymore. Often, violence isn't too strong a word for what leaving is. Departing from myself, abandoning others, cutting ourselves from what might surrender us into love that we never thought we had, so we could never give. I think of the kind of faith that makes seekers seek and never know rest, cursing their handless form, hungering to confess. Famine isn't too strong a word for what passed through after I was made to harden as bark on a tree and disappeared into avaricious stories, overcome with the deep blue of dead machine screens or synthetic ultramarine. Somewhere between ecstatic apologies and deafening silence, I learned that I bleed for more than me. And if I bend my neck and look back to see what this grief is made up of, the endless tunnel of time with its blackened clawed hands and clouded body coils into itself. The ghosts do not want us to think of them as less than the pure innocence they came from. And they trust me with their breath as they re-enter, untroubled by my burls, without a second thought, with only a feeling. They know only the warm flesh edges that let me feel into the world. And as luck would have it, I am brought to my knees. There is no judge leering over my shoulder. And there are poems and paintings for waking up, for coming back. I am settling into the form of the spiral, residing in it, making home in the snail's shell. All I need to do to protect myself is tremble into stillness. If I become the shape of this feeling, I may find forever in it.
On a perfect painting day, I wake up to a good morning and a song. Smiling, I slip my favorite shoes on, give a kiss on the head goodbye, and half close the door. I know it's a perfect painting day because it has been sprinkling and dew dropping all morning, and the mountains are clothed in every shade of green, and then blanketed in the light mist of clouds coming down to play. Even with the hidden bits I cannot see through the cold and folded air, it is a perfect painting day because the wind makes the poplar leaves dance and sparkle just for me. And your gift is the glowing white edges of gray clouds, moving onwards through thick sky, the mountains still, and the vapor motions. And I remember the different kinds of time passing. And as if I were a watercolor picture, some salted river runs down my cheek. I walk down the hill and it makes small stars wherever it dries. My face not so much meant for a mirror, but meant for the water, a rippled reflection. My toes tell me it is a perfect painting day when they wiggle through sock holes and wander me to a new place. And my fingers feel that it is a perfect painting day when they have been roughed and calloused from glue and string picking, meal making, and heartbreaking. I can just barely feel the brush bristle, hello, the sweetest permission to drop into the flow. On this perfect painting day, I can hear the goodbyes too. And I notice the changing spaces between imagined and true. And I can paint the changes. And I can fill the page. And I can even gleam my eye for what is empty, edged, and frayed. This day is perfect for my painting, where I can show my heart. The trees and clouds remind me that we are not apart. And the sun shines through a window, through leaves, and through a door, and through closed eyelids I remember to be today as I was born.